Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama and today I am bringing you a ZVZ. This is going to be between Duza, the blue Zerg, spawning down the bottom left, and spawning up in the top right we do have Stillanks. But wait, this is a making improvement stick video, and this is going to be episode 6, I believe, Bronze Silver Sunday, and we're going to be following our friend Duza right here. So ZVZ, I know, a very tough matchup, and a lot of players really struggle with this matchup. I struggle with this matchup sometimes, but especially at the lower levels, I know a lot of players really struggle to understand how the matchup works. And so I'm going to kind of go through, and as I said, this is Bronze Silver, so of course I'm not going to be giving you all the crazy, like specific goals of oh, well, your micro is a tiny bit here, you didn't, whatever it is. I'm just going to be going through, hitting up some basics, things like that. So far, Dude's off to a good start right here. If you're going to 15 hatch, I'd recommend sending out a 9 scout, or you can actually send out the 10th drone on this map right here, and if it's not, then you would send out like your 9th drone, I believe. So that's if you're just going to 15 pool. We'll see what Duza does. Of course, holding a 15 pool can be a little bit more difficult. So if they go for like a 14-14 all in on you, something like that, or whatever it is. So if you don't feel comfortable with that, then you don't have to. But it looks like Duza feels comfortable with that, and he's going to go ahead and just do it straight up without a scout. So like I was saying, it's good to scout just in case you see an early pool. Then you can throw down a pool of your own and be safe, as opposed to dropping down this hatch, which Duza kind of right now in limbo. That's something right there that already, just a little minor thing, you could have cleaned up. You had the 300 minerals there a while ago, and you waited yet another about 100 minerals. And here you're also sitting on a lot of money and kind of hesitating as to what to do. So I'd definitely say finding a build. You don't really have to follow this drone around. Let him walk around. That's totally fine. Let him scout with that drone. He's wasting money by doing that, and so you don't need to do that. But what's happening here is, look, you had all those larvae sitting right there. You had the extractor, and your spawning pool were late. Your hatch down here was late just because you were focusing on too many things. So I definitely say right now, and this is probably going to be a goal for you, it's just focus. Don't worry about your opponent. Focus on just doing your build. So here, okay, you get in, you scout that, you see he's not got a crazy amount of drones, his pool's already up, yada yada. So this is where I want you to scout first with your overlord. You should be sending your overlord like right here-ish, so you can get in there and see if he has that expansion first, what's going on. You want to be able to see if there's an expansion or not quickly, and then you can start moving with the overlord over here, and then of course you can back it out and send it over here so you can watch for these geysers, or send it back like right here, you can watch these mineral patches, whatever. So, anyways, back here, dropping a spine in base, you should just drop that down on the low ground. And once again, this drone's still wandering around right here. Look at your larva, okay. You've got a decent amount of money mined up, or gas mined up right there, and that speed is a little bit late. Later than we want. You should be able to get that speed immediately instead of this queen right here. Okay. So, and once again, here's this overlord is going to die now. So you don't want to leave overlords on top of stuff like that. These are very crucial overlords. So you scout in, and then you run it away to this airspace. So that's going to hurt, and that's going to put you in a little bit of a rough situation. Getting out the 2 queens, though, immediately is not what you want to do. You want to go right when this pops. You should be able to go queen, gas, and then a couple sets of lings if you want, or the spine crawler. So that's what should come first, and then you'll get that second queen a little bit after. That's generally how it goes with hatch first. That way you can get a speed out in a somewhat decent amount of time. And see, now you have to move this guy down there anyways. You could have just built him on the low ground. 2 spines right here is way too much. Like, you have way too much defense right now. Plus all these extra queens. You don't need 4 queens. This is ZVZ. And look at the drones, right? So you're already behind twice as many drones as your opponent, despite going hatch first. So going hatch first is supposed to give you an economic lead, and yet you're getting murdered over here in the economy because you haven't been building drones at all. You have all these larvae sitting up, and now you're just going to sit with all of these queens and 2 spine crawlers. It just doesn't make sense. It's way too safe. This is way too like, oh no, I'm going to die. like immediately, like I'm gonna immediately die right here. That's not at all the case. So now you've just got a crap ton of queens. If you need to block your ramp, use your queens that you have right here. So you can use this queen and this queen. So have this one right here, and then have this guy inject, and then he runs over to block the ramp. Then when he has to inject again, you can pull him back, inject, and run him over to block your ramp again, etc. So you can just keep doing that. So big thing, as I'm saying before, is just your drones and your scouting. Scouting is going to be number 2 for you because, and that's just for the ZVZ matchup. Normally in this matchup, I don't say a lot about scouting, right? Or normally in this league, sorry, in Silver League, I'm not a huge person on scouting. I don't think you have to be, you know, amazing with scouting as a Terran or a Protoss or even like a ZVP. Like you know, that's not going to be the biggest difference. You can generally just get one good scout and something like that and be fine, whatever it is, or not even have to, just have good macro and then be okay. Of course, Zerg's a little more reactive, but in ZVZ you need to have the scouting, and it's free scouting because you have overlords, right? So you're sitting your overlords in positions as if you're playing versus a Terran player right now, right? So you're like kind of scouting for like dropped over there. I mean, not even really for that. Move these overlords out, and you can do that right when you build it. So you build an overlord, and you know what? You send the overlord right here, and then you can have an overlord here, and overlord here. If we look at his vision, he's got like decent scouting vision, right? He can see over there, he can see right here, and he could even have better. He could be scouting your third. He could have an overlord, you know, right over there. He could have an overlord over here, whatever. So of course he's not perfect either with it. As you can see, he has all his overlords chilling over there, but definitely something to work on right there. It's just getting that scout out so you can see what's going on. So now you've kind of caught up in drones, but you don't know if you'd be safe to drone or not right now. That's the big problem. He could be coming over with some huge all-in push right now, and you would get absolutely slammed because you're just droning away and you have no clue. So now you're finally going to sack Lings, be like, oh, okay, he has roaches. Oh, crap. Okay, there we go. I have to throw a roach one down. Yeah, right. So a lot of money saved up right here. I'd suggest either taking a third or throwing down a macro hatch if you don't feel safe enough for a third, especially if you're going to stick on those Lings for defense, whatever it is. So that's just something to consider. Also, all of this energy saved up on these queens, you can start spreading this creep. I wouldn't even suggest having those queens right now. As I was saying before, that should have been invested somewhere else. I like the drone saturation that you got going on right now. And gonna go ahead and start your +1 attack to go through +1 defense. So everything's not too bad in that sense, but scouting is going to be huge for you, and even just having a couple Lings out right now. Because look, you have literally no units. You have 61 drones and 4 queens. That's all you have right now, and you have a couple roaches on the way, but it's 11 minutes in the game. I mean, if he just sat there and massed up and sent over right now, you would be absolutely crushed, and you wouldn't even know that it's on its way. So something to definitely think about. There we go. You do throw a macro hatch down and a third at the same time. One of those should have definitely been sooner, I would say. And you also want to kind of check to see if he has his third. So Lings are great scouting units, as we know. They're super fast and great counterattack units as well. So now you're ahead, and now you can start building up. But okay, you're both going Spire. It's just nobody knows what's going on in this game, right? If he waltzes in there with 10 mutas right now, what do? I mean, I guess you have some queens, but he can just fly around at your drones, fly down here at your drones, go pick off your third. I mean, it just puts you in kind of a rough situation. So definitely just kind of something to think about right there. Let's see, continue on. Third gonna finish up here fairly shortly. And another issue is you're not saving up any gas for when the Spire does come down. Look at this, you're spending all your gas. All your gas is being spent. All your gas is being spent, right? So when your Spire finishes, you're gonna be able to make like 3 mutas, maybe. And you keep spending it. You keep building more roaches. So that's something to definitely think about. Look, I mean, he's doing a somewhat of a better job with it. Not a crazy better job, but his Spire finished. He's not even making Mutalisk. Is he just rushing for Broodlords, maybe? Right. So at this point, you should at least you need to know what's going on to know if you can poke. You know what? If he's gotten really greedy, which he looks like he's gotten a little greedy, maybe you'd be able to attack him and do some damage. I mean, you don't know right now, and that's a huge thing. You can't just build up this mass ball like this and then send it over. And I mean, you could, and you would need better macro in the first place to do that. But it'd just be so much better, especially for this matchup, to at least kill off these lings and at least push over to this tower and at least check his third. I mean, we're not even talking about going in here and checking for tech or checking for what all his army is, which would be nice. I'm just saying, just check for like very basic things. I like the creep spread, you know, that's not bad. Got a lair, infestation pit going down. Where's those mutalisk that you made? Do you have them? Where'd your mutalisk go? Did you cancel your mutalisk? Alright, so both of you wasted spires right there, so I guess it's a trade. But if you're going to make a tech like this, this is definitely something that you're investing a decent amount of resources in right there. And to simply not use it for no reason at all because you didn't see anything that your opponent had, that's kind of silly. So you scout in, see an infestation pit. Okay, so like now if you saw that, then I could like understand not making mutas or something like this. Changeling, run down here, scout for his army. Uh-oh, where's his army at? And that's as far as you're gonna go. So you're gonna give up scouting for his army right there. Okay, 200, 200, push out. You're both at 200. Nice little bank. You have pathogen glands going down. Got your hive morphin. Alright. I definitely recommend wanting to take a fourth base right now. And ouch. Okay, so that hurts. And hey, you see he has a fourth base. So, alright, pull back. You should be morphing an overseer immediately. I don't think you have one. No, you do not. You also just boxed yourself in a horrible position right here. And now you won't be able to kill these off because you don't have an overseer. Morph an overseer! What are you doing? Okay, and now you're not following anything. You can follow the smoke when you... See this? See this little black smoke right here? Those are his units. You can follow smoke for burrowed units, just FYI. I know a lot of players don't know that, actually, in the lower leagues. So yeah, when a unit is burrowed and moving, you'll actually see a little black smoke moving in there. So look for that. Right, so you see, he's got his fourth, yada yada. You need your fourth, you need to be retaking this base.